What's up, everybody? KleverKrok back for week 2 of season 5 of the GTA, and this week we're going to be taking a look at the 6 matches we got, and with me I have the coach of the Richmond Raikous, aka Jasperious, aka Chase. What's going on, man?
Just back at it again with these super hot matches.
Just don't. I probably shouldn't have started, huh? Alright.
This is your fault. You brought this on
Yeah,
yourself.
I pretty much did. I pretty much did. So, we'll just jump into it. So the first match we're going to look at is the match between the Parasects and the Raikous. Chase, what do you have to say about your match against the Gengars?
I mentioned this last video.
Sorry,
It's
I'm
actually
in
the
wrong
Parasect.
order. Yes, Parasects. I seem to be in the wrong order, so hold on one momento.
Man, you need to get your stuff together.
I know, I'm all over the place. Alright, hold on. Almost sorted.
I'm the one with the Arcanine.
Yeah. I'm just making sure the rest of them are in order as well. They are now. Okay. Yeah, that Arcanine, man,
All
puts
right.
in the work. Go ahead.
Oh, I love it. So this happened last week as well, and it's written down in all caps, Stealth Rocks. Uh, Stealth Rocks would have put in work once again, waiting for that week 4. It was a really good match. I kind of expected his team to be the same, just from playing him previous seasons. I expect him to change maybe a little things on some of his mons, but the general core is going to stay the same.
Yeah.
So uh, one of the big things I feel like happened this match is that I lost Arcanine way too early because it was my big check, my big counter to tank growth. Because other than that, tank growth just completely destroys my team. And Alolan Marowak, I mentioned this last week. Oh, it's pretty scary to be on the receiving end of that.
Yeah. Well, and I think it was interesting that he decided to bring rocks on him. That was pretty creative in my opinion.
I wish I could bring rocks on something.
Yeah, I also want to say, yeah, that Fletchender should have had U-turn. I don't know what he would have had outside of it, because I know he had acrobatics, Will-O-Wisp, Roost, but I don't know what that
Yeah,
fourth
we
one
never did
was.
find out what his last move was.
And
I
maybe
don't
it
think
was
we ever found out.
U-turn, but I think he should have done that because he really needed the switch ability into other like Pokemon, because like last week, he doesn't really have the most reliable switch-ins for walls, especially with that Jolteon around. So I really think he needed that, and not having any sort of ability to easily switch and gain momentum put him in a really dangerous place, because even though he was able to take out Zygarde with Marowak, Marowak
Mhm.
was gone pretty easily once, Zygarde did the damage it needed to. But yeah, basically I just think he needed more reliable switch-ins.
Poison doesn't affect steel.
Yeah, that happened a couple times.
Yeah, what can you do?
Use your
Uh,
top chart, fool.
you right. Jolteon though, you would expect Jolteon to be this, super high powered Raikou set with the Assault Vest. No, we're running it lefties, cleric.
That actually works really well too, having the ability to pivot and heal bell and wish. It's pretty great.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting to get hit on Zygarde and not have him set up a Swords Dance,
Yeah. Were
but
you on turn 12? Were you trying to make a prediction, because Flash Cannon would have done more damage than whatever you used. I forget what it was.
Aurasphere.
Yeah. Were you predicting the Beware to come in?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe.
But Magirna came in
Uh,
clutch, sweeping at the end, which is pretty cool.
oh yeah. I don't know if I think they would have done around the same because Aurasphere did 36 on a crit and Flash Cannon did 20 on a not.
Yeah. I don't think turn 29, when Fletchender came back in after Magirna was sweeping, I think he should have had a fire move instead of like running it with like these, like Will-O-Wisp and whatever. And if he did have something like Flare Blitz, he really needed to do as much damage as he could to Magearna, because whether it set up or it used Thunderbolt, which you could have brought, um, getting Roost wasn't going to help him any, because then you just were able to outspeed everything and sweep the rest. So.
hmm We saw those very crucial rest turns that were very scary for me. I didn't know
Yeah.
if I was gonna make it. Um, I got the worst roll of my life on that flame charge on Fletchender.
That was hilarious. um,
1 health left, and I still would have had my Arcanine because I had Flamethrower on it specifically for Tangrowth because Tangrowth's a really good defense wall. I
yeah,
remember that.
I will say I don't think he should have let like his Tangrowth and Muck go down so early, because I think those were key players against your team, and he let them get weakened way too quickly. Same with a Marowak. He shouldn't have kept in, like, he should have let like something just go down or switched in Tangrowth, because Tangrowth would have eaten that stuff up. But he let it take all that damage, and it was easy to pick off after that. But setting up Swords Dance as well, when, like, you weren't going to outspeed. So one thing that I would have been cool is if he brought U-Turn and Tailwind on Fletchender or Golbat, and then gave the opportunity for Alola Marowak to come in and just start hitting things hard and outspeeding everything.
Oh, that would have killed me.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So that would have been really cool. But since Marowak is so slow, and he tried to set up when he was not going to be able to, like, do the damage he needed to before getting taken out, it kind of stopped his momentum there. So those are a couple things to think about, I guess. Just thinking about the possibility of bringing Tailwind if you are going to bring Flyers. But I would definitely not, like, I would bring some of the stuff that you did before, but again, a special attacker would have been really good in this match. And I don't see where you would have brought that, because it didn't look like Tangrowth was rocking anything special-wise. But yeah, so that's about it for me. Any other thoughts on that one?
Oh, I have wrote down Marowak is awesome and Magearna equals Bay. That's all I have left.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll go ahead and go on to the next match then. Now this one was a tough one for me. The match between the Krookodiles and the Charizards. I knew that this was going to be hard because Mawile is so scary for my team. And I really wanted to be creative. And I thought that I really needed to bring a fairy type, so I brought Comfey, and I think I should not have. But I brought Comfey and I brought Silvally Steel because I thought that was my best answer for Mawile. And it was, but not having reliable recovery was rough, and it just didn't do as much damage as I had hoped. And since I didn't bring Flash Cannon, I wasn't able to take out Shiinotic quick enough, or at all for that matter. So that was difficult. I think it was just hard because I was really just playing with fire, having a Shell Smasher, and then Mega Mawile with Sucker Punch and Swords Dance. It's
devastating.
So hard to deal with both. And I think I played a little too heavy on the prediction game, trying to pivot around a lot. And I think that ended up costing me pivotal turns where I could have actually turned it around and potentially won. But because I was so concerned about trying to make predictions and switching and getting momentum, I ended up losing scenarios that I should have probably won. So...
hindsight's 20/20, but instead of Comfey, I would say Sash Salazzle.
Ooh, yeah. That would have been cool. I did think about how having a Sash on any of my Pokemon... I originally was going to bring Focus Sash Kartana, but I didn't because I wanted the extra damage since Kartana was not going to one-shot unless it was Choice Banded on things like, potentially Mawile, but also Sacred Sword on the Hydreigon and Leaf Blade on the Toxapex, and Toxic Spikes murdered my team.
Oh yeah.
They murdered my team. And with all that switching around and the fact that I played so easily into his Protects and Baneful Bunkers, that stall just really wore me down really quickly. And I was going to bring Aromatherapy, but I decided not to because I wanted to bring Draining Kiss instead for a priority way to kill a Choice Scarf Hydreigon. That ended up happening, obviously, because that's not what I had to worry about, but...
Yeah.
Because I didn't bring... I brought Rocky Helmet, Garchomp, so that I could guarantee if there was only 30% health left on the Mawile, I'd be able to get rid of it by sacking off Garchomp. And I probably should have brought Choice Banded Garchomp, because that would have one-shot the Mawile on the second turn. I wouldn't even had to worry about it. But again, hindsight is 20/20. I did call the Shell Smash turn 1, which I was excited about. And I should have still let Garchomp go down, because if I had just gone for an Earthquake and he did hit me with Play Rough, I still would have killed it with the Rocky Helmet and Rough Skin damage. And that would have been a very valuable trade. So I should have just played the way I initially thought about it, but I didn't. And what else? I did really like using Corkscrew Crash on the Shiinotic through the Protect. That was very satisfying.
I kind of feel like it was wasted though.
It was, but it ended up still picking up the kill because of Iron Tail. But yeah, it was a bit wasted.
Because if you would have Iron Tail first turn on the Protect, you could have just automatically killed it with Corkscrew Crash.
True. What else? I miscalced. I thought the Garchomp at 76% would live a +2 Sucker Punch from Mawile. And it ended up doing a little bit... it would have needed 12% more, ironically, to safely survive even the max roll. And ironically, that's the same amount that I lost from a Leech Seed from a bad switch in on Garchomp. So, small things. But he switched in Mawile at the perfect turn because Comfey couldn't do anything. I didn't even have Protect on it. So I couldn't even do any stalling. And Mawile swept my whole team. And I had one chance after it had set up, and it was when I did that double switch into Krookodile. I made him think that I was going to switch again and that he'd have to do that. I could have just gone for Earthquake. I could have taken him out. But... And I really thought about that. It took me a minute to figure out whether I should go for Earthquake or not. And I should have, because if I was wrong about the Sucker Punch, I was going to be in a bad place anyways. Because I wasn't going to have a way to take him out. So I should have just followed through with it. And I think that was my downfall, is that I wanted to go for, a lot of different things, but I should have just followed through with my gut. But he played it really well. He set up at the right time, and he swept me.
It was very good. I have wrote down Banned Mawile 2K17.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're not letting it back in. That much is clear.
In fact, he actually has to stop using it right now.
Yep, he's going to have to get Mega Houndoom instead.
Mega Audino.
Mega Audino, actually, that's better because it's very type. So
but yeah, he played it very well.
He did. He really did. And it was closer than it looked, because had Mawile gone down, he would have had a really hard time with the rest of my team. Mm-hmm. But he brought it in at the right moment, and I really regret bringing Comfey. But, yeah, so the next match we're going to look at is the Scottish Sylveons versus the Scottish Sceptiles. They're both newcomers, as we mentioned last week, and it was going to be interesting to see kind of how they interacted, since they're both used to the draft format but not in the GTA. So I will say one thing before I start the video: Shaman walls everything.
Oh my god, yes.
And there's a lot of toxic turns from Zapdos that like were pointless turns on Shaman because it had aromatherapy and natural cure.
Mm-hmm. And also, he brought in Tapu Fini like first turn, and then he tried to Toxic. All right, wait. Turn 2, and then he tried to Toxic the Shaman on turn 3. You can't Toxic a grounded Pokemon through Misty Terrain. You can't status a grounded Pokemon through Misty Terrain.
I didn't know it was
So
only
it's just
grounded Pokemon. Huh.
yeah, because it's flying types or Pokemon with Levitate that can still get a status because they're technically not on the terrain.
That's pretty cool. That makes it even better that Tapu Fini, like in the Shaman deal that he used, was even more ingenious because he was able to wear down bulky Zapdos.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I feel like we're going to see a theme with the Sceptiles this season, that their matches are going to last 80 turns because they just keep stalling and stalling and stalling.
To be fair, the Sylveons kept trying to Toxic Shaman for some reason.
That's true.
And I think that the Sylveons had a chance to put momentum easily on the Sceptiles, but by spamming Toxic and not going for Volt Switch on turn 2, he lost like that chance to do that, and so he was on the reaction like the rest of the game. Basically, he wasn't able to like really do anything. What else?
Terrakion just destroyed Melodic.
Yeah, and even if Milotic had Marvel Scale on the second turn, it still wouldn't have lived to close combat, so I don't know why he switched it in. Because, honestly, I think Ribombee would have taken it better because of that quad resist. And I think he needed Milotic just for the extra bulk, but having all those water types was just bad in the first place.
Yeah, he had 3 water types, and then a Tapu Bulu and a Shaman was brought.
Yeah.
And Raikou.
I will say the prep on the Sylveon's end was impressive because he brought HP Poison Keldeo for the Tapu Bulu, which was awesome.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah,
I thought it was HP Poison.
It was. And then HP Electric on the Blastoise. Speed invested Blastoise.
The prep was good.
It was.
It was just the outcome wasn't in his favor.
Yeah, it was.
And then we've got this Wish Protect Body Slam Iron Headset or Jirachi again that just makes me want to cry every time I see it.
And one thing that I noticed is that he let Infernape go down way too early. Like, yeah, he ended up trading with the Jirachi, but that just made it even easier for Shaman to wall out the rest of that guy, or the rest of Sylveon's team. And then the quick attack on Terrakion was awesome because it really screwed over the Ribombee, but I don't know why he went for a Quiver Dance on that second turn that it was out, because that second quick attack ensured that it would just be a wasted turn.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't necessarily agree with that, especially now that Ribombee is really easy to get knocked out, and that was the only thing he had left to take out Shaman. And if he can't take out Shaman, then the rest of this match was already going to be over by Raikou. So I know he really needed to set up to win, but
I think that instead of Flare Blitz on Infernape, that Fire Punch Iron Fist Choice Band would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
Because it has the longevity, and Jirachi takes 93 to like 110 from it.
Yeah, I will say the Z Toxic was pretty cool. Not that it was like necessary at that point, but it was pretty cool.
It was just kind of like flexing to show off his heat sets.
Yeah, he should have gone, instead of for Quiver Dance at the very end, he should have gone for a like Moonblast or Dazzling Gleam or whatever he had to get some damage onto Terrakion and then switch out. Because the Quiver Dance was too obvious, and even if he was able to set up like and not get knocked out, and he was able to hit something, it wasn't going to one-shot anything except for maybe Terrakion, but Terrakion had quick attack, so as long as I had a safe switch in, it would be over anyways. So, yeah, I mean, ultimately he didn't preserve what he needed to, but he brought some really cool stuff. He prepped really well, but having 3 water types against this matchup in particular, with Raikou, Tapu Bulu, and Shaman. That was pretty rough, especially not having a ground immunity.
Yeah, he kind of had Zapdos.
Or no, I meant electric immunity. My bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he could. I mean, he could have spammed Raikou a lot more than he did, and it would have been fine. But either way, it was still a really good match. So we'll go ahead and go on to the next match, which is the match between Zubatman. We'll skip to the end of this because it's just stall. But the next match is Zubatman versus Wobbuffets. And this match was going to be pretty cool because they're both really good, and they play, in my opinion, fairly similarly. I do think that the prep was better on... I don't know. That's hard to say. I think there were a couple of just major misplays on the Wobbuffets end, but they also made a couple really good plays.
Mm-hmm.
They started out really well with the Sludge Wave on Coco. That was cool because I don't know if that was just a really low roll or if he really did have a chance to knock out Coco. I'm not sure why he went for Power Whip next. I suppose it could have been for the Hippo, but I did like the Grass Knot play onto Hippo from the Alolan Raichu. That did some work.
It was nice. It was really good prep. I think he mentioned that it had like a 50-50 chance to Oko if he calced it correctly.
That stinks.
And if he calced it correctly, then he got the lowest roll possible.
That happens.
Which makes it even worse.
I thought it was cool that Zubatman brought Chestoberry Chandelure, but if it wasn't Scarf, he should not have kept it in against Drapion unless he intended to sack it, which maybe he meant to, but I think it had more work that it could have done. But it is cool to think about the possibility.
It was around turn 12 that I joined the game. I was like, oh wait, you guys are playing.
That's funny.
So I got to see the end of the game.
Yeah, Celesteela wrecked house.
Well, if he would have just went for the HP Electric again, Celesteela wouldn't have destroyed both Araquanid and Venusaur. It was just a prediction on his part.
Yeah, I also think that Honchkrow should have just gone for the obvious Sucker Punch onto Chandelure. Because I don't think the defog outweighed the fact that Sucker Punch was the guaranteed kill against Alakazam. And at that point, Tapu Koko and Celesteela and Chandelure. And then if he had gotten one or two of those kills with a Moxie boost, he had the chance to also take out Hippo. The only thing he wouldn't be able to take out is Weavile. So I think Honchkrow's value is severely underrated in this match.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think Zubatman made the right choice of keeping Chandelure in.
No, he didn't.
He could have easily just lost it for no reason. But he got lucky, and it worked out for him.
One thing I have is that Drapion is, again, pulling his weight very well.
Yeah. But really.
Just demolishing, 3 Pokemon or just 2?
I think 2. But the Pursuit Mind Games is probably why David didn't switch out on the Drapion.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like Bisharp. You can't tell if they're going to go for knockoff or Sucker Punch or Pursuit. In this case, Drapion doesn't get Sucker Punch, but he does get Pursuit and he outspeeds. So, that's hard to do, and he ended up getting, knocked out, which happens. It's a really hard mind games. But yeah,
it was a good match, just some misplays.
Yeah, and then Weavile came in and did the revenge killing that it does.
So well.
Yeah. Alright, well, we'll go ahead and go on to the next match, which is Antioff and Felidae. And this was a really interesting match. Some really interesting things on both sides. But I think, like Felidae tends to do, they peak early in their matches, and they do everything way too early. because what they do often is really good, but they do it too early and it ends up costing them. So in this case, it was Z-Splash and Baton passing into Buzzwole while still having Volcarona around and allowing Sticky Web to get up. I don't know if the Sticky Web mattered because maybe it was Scarf, but on the Buzzwole, that is.
Well, the first turn awake on the Shuckle really sucked for Feladay.
Yeah, that's true.
And then Shuckle tanked God, what did it tank?
Hammer Arm.
A Hammer Arm from... A stab Hammer Arm from Buzzwole.
Yeah, I definitely think he should have considered, even if he were to, like, be like, oh, I didn't realize the speed drops, he should have still switched out, even though, like, it was a terrible... It would have been a terrible loss in the buffs that he spent using Z-Splash. But he shouldn't have let Buzzwole go down, because that was his way of taking out Empoleon, which was later really important to this match.
Mm-hmm.
But again, Antioch did a really good job of setting up their hazards.
Oh yeah, which we saw that last week too against me, that they really... Sticky Webs does damage. If you can't get rid of Sticky Webs, then you're in trouble.
I think the Scarf Volcarona was a good choice too, because it was disguised by the fact that Buzzwole was really slow, and then when Dugtrio came in, it would have normally killed, but it got that first hit on it and was able to take it out before it could kill. So he either should have brought Stone Edge or Rock Slide for Volcarona or Sucker Punch. And in either of those scenarios, if he had those, even with the Scarf Volcarona, he would have taken him out. But
it's just some prep issues, really.
Yeah. And then again, Encore from Alolan Ninetales kind of screwed him over, because he was able to basically...
Into the roar.
yeah. He was able to spam that and just whittle down with the rocks that he wasn't able to get rid of. He should have brought Defog on Latios or Rapid Spin on Cloyster, because that ruined...
Well, the Rapid Spin on Cloyster didn't. Cloyster didn't even get to take a turn.
True.
It came in on rocks and then just went down to a...
Obliterated. And then, do you know that Sub-Zero Slammer that's going to show on the screen here in a minute? Do you know if that was Ice Shard or if that was just like Icicle Crash or something? Like, I couldn't tell because I don't know if Z moves maintain their priority if they have it.
Well, assuming that they're both max speed, then it would either have to take its priority, or he would be running double Scarf, which isn't allowed. So I think that it's the priority, which would be really interesting to find out.
My thought is because it hits Latios, and Latios is faster unless he was running a bulky set. So there's no way of knowing what the speed, whether there was a speed tie or whether Latios was indeed outspeeding or what. But I'm not sure. But really, really well played on Antioch's side.
Oh yeah, he did. I'm really surprised and really happy with what he's doing with this mono bug team, essentially.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It was an unfortunate roll on the Empoleon at the end with the freeze dry. That should have taken him out because that got rid of Ninetales by being able to use Roar. But yeah, I don't think it would have mattered because I think Mamoswine had Ice Shard, even if that wasn't Z Ice Shard that he had. But it still may have made a difference. I don't know. Beedrill was in the back. It never got used. So, so there's that too.
Right. We can continue on, but I'm going to go on Showdown real fast and see what happens. I'll go down my ladder. I don't care.
Oh, gosh. All right. Well, this last one's pretty straightforward. It's the match between Charmeleonaires and Gengars. And the Charmeleonaires do what they typically do, where they just set up and sweep. And in this week's episode of Dan Sweeps Everybody, He starts with Speed Boost and Substitute on Scolipede, which could have been stopped by a Hurricane by the Gengars, or a Scald for that matter, or a Waterfall from Kabutops. There were a lot of chances for him to get rid of at least the Substitute, to where he could have stopped the sweep from Circuitry later on. But that miss on Stone Edge, I get that it was super effective, but with Rain up, Kabutops still would have broken the sub, which is all you needed to do at that point. And then switching into Gengar, I'm not really sure why you did that, but yeah, basically Circuitry by turn 5 had everything set up and a full healthy Substitute and was able to obliterate everything. So, enough said. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun little match to watch Circuitry do what it's so renowned to do.
Yeah.
Also, it is confirmed that Priority doesn't stay, because I have Min Speed Mamo, and I just got Fire Punched by a Dragonite. So it must have been a really slow Lottie.
Yeah, it must have not had any speed investment. It's probably a bulky variant. Lucky Mamo.
Which is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorite parts of this match, not that it was like, back to this one, not that it was, really fun, but I think it was around turn 6, he goes, "Oh no."
Yeah,
it was turn 7.
Turn 7.
It was so funny.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And Dan didn't even have to, like... he could have done that with Mega Pidgeot. He could have done that with Hoopa. Excadrill.
He could have done it with anybody.
Why did we let him get Scolipede?
Because nobody else had points at the end.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's it for this week, guys. I'll show the leaderboard real quick. Just so we can see, we got the Charizards in the lead by 2. Then we've got 3 teams tied for second, being Zubatman, Raikous, and Sceptiles. 2 tied for 5th, being the Charmillionaires and the Krookodiles. And then kind of trailing off after that. And in the player leaderboard, we've got 6-0 with Turtonator, which happened, I think, week 1. And then Magirna, who got I don't think it was just from 1 week, but is 6-0 as well from 2 sweeps. Or maybe it was just a kill and a sweep. I don't know. I don't remember.
It was a kill and a sweep.
And then Circuitry getting its sweep, bringing it to 6-1. Alomomola getting all of its kills this week from walling out the Parasects. We got Mega Mawile, who got like 4 kills. Maybe it was all 5 from sweeping me. Drapion.
I think it was all 5.
Yeah, probably.
Oh.
And then Drapion doing what it does, being consistent and scary. Sharpedo getting some kills in. Volcarona, same. And Alola Marowak as well.
You skipped your Swellow, sir.
I did. Swallow getting 3 kills first week. Sweet. Yeah, I was pretty excited about bringing Spec Swallow in the rain, even though I didn't have a rain starter. It was so ghetto.
It was great, though.
It was great.
I'm looking forward to Alomomola not being up there.
Yeah. Tanks should
It's not
never
going to
be
be
on
like
the leaderboard.
not going to be like season 4 when Clefable was number 3 the entire season.
Well, let's just go back into the leaderboards of previous seasons, because I just want to look for a second. Where is it? Schedule rankings. Season 1 rankings. So, do you want to know who is number 1 on the player leaderboard in Season 1?
I remember. Because it beat me by 1.
Milotic! Nobody knew how to deal with Milotic. It was amazing. It's the only tank on the board, and it was amazing. I really enjoyed that. Let's go and look at Season 2. See what tanks are on that. Where is it? We've got Mega Venusaur, which is kind of understandable. Yeah, not really any
Rotom
tanks that
Heat,
are
maybe?
outstanding. Rotom Heat's awesome. Don't talk bad about him.
And talking bad.
Season 3, I think, is the one I'm thinking of, where Chansey's on the leaderboard or something. Maybe that's not true.
Clefable's on the leaderboard in season 4.
See,
I just
season
looked at that
3,
one.
we had... Oh, I guess not. We had Mega Sableye, who was number 2.
Ugh.
Oh, good times.
And you can find all this information by going onto the site, going to
Sure.
schedule past season information, going to rankings, just if you want to see it for yourself.
Yeah, and then season 4, let's see, there was Clefable. There was... Yeah, I
I'll
guess
claim
that was the
Clefable.
only one. Alright, well, let's make sure we don't have any tanks this season on the leaderboard. But anyways, that's it, guys. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to check out the matches yourself and keep an eye out for the next week's matches and for the recap next week. But that's it for us. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
See you guys.
Thanks for watching, guys. If y'all enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like, and if you want, subscribe for more videos. Hope to see y'all in the future, and thank you for watching.